Hello, lovelies. Welcome to the first ever Self-Love Friday with me, Diana Grant. Welcome to my couch. Hello, JJ UK. I'm so glad that you're here and that you're excited. I'm excited too. The whole idea of these sessions is to share little tidbits of very tangible ways to make self-love a reality in your life. So my idea is, there's this whole concept of self-love. I'm always talking about it. I've written a book about it. And I think concepts like this can be quite big and intangible. And so we get to a place where we're like, self-love, yes, what does that mean? And yes, I love myself. Yes, I take care of myself. So I must be okay. But when it comes down to it, and you actually have to measure it, how do I love myself? How do I know if I'm practicing self-love? That can be a little bit up in the clouds. Hello, Howard, welcome. Howard is a very big part of why I'm actually here today. He encouraged me to go live. And of course, our mutual friend, Olga Gadana, challenged me live on her show last week or the week before. I think it was 2 weeks ago, as to when I'm going to go live. So here I am. What I was hoping to do today is to share with you a tool that I use and that I share with my clients. Hello, Erin. Welcome, welcome. Called the Wheel of Love. You may or may not have heard of the Wheel of Life. And recently I saw Olga sharing her business wheel. And it's basically the concept is to take your life and to portion it up into sections and look at those sections of your life pertaining to the subject. So in the case of a wheel of life, it would be quite general about your life. In the case of a business wheel, as Olga shared last week, it would be areas of business. And in this case, what I'm sharing is self-love. Hello, Magda. Welcome. So good to see you. But let me just backtrack. So I was going to share my screen with you because I've created a wonderful tool. However, technology let me down this morning. I've had a very interesting morning and a beautiful morning. And I was faced with, I stood at a crossroads earlier and I thought, well, technology's letting me down. I'm not able to share the way that I want to share in the 2020 way. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to cancel my commitment to myself to go live, because at that point I hadn't told anybody yet that it was going to be today. Well, I had told one person. And then I decided, no, I'm going to stick to my commitment to myself, because for me, that is a very, very important act of self-love. So we're going to go old school today here, people. And I've got printed props. This is what the Wheel of Love looks like. Let me show you the blank one first before we jump into that one. There we go. So it's basically a wheel, which is divided into sections of your life. So the sections that I suggest you use is partner and family, so that's key relationships, children and pets. For some people, pets are children. Colleagues, or if you're an entrepreneur and you work alone, then that would be, people in business that you deal with. Friends, very important, and myself. The whole idea is to think about how much love you have to give. Thank you, Erin. I'm so glad you like it. It's pretty, isn't it? Nice colors. Is to think about how much love you have to give. So you've heard me and my friends Tanya and Olga, we talk about apples, having a basket of apples. And if you want to give an apple away, you have to have an apple in your basket. You have to be looking after your apple tree. You have to be making sure that it is growing apples so that you can pick the apples, have them in your basket in order to be able to share them. You can't give apples from an empty basket. So how much love do you have to give? We all love to love. So think about that. And then you look at your wheel and you look at each area of your life. How much love do I have to give? And how much love am I giving in that area? So starting with your partner, I'm going to use me as an example. So I did a wheel this morning and I started with partner and I put it at a 7. My partner works far away. I have so much love to give to him, but I can only give it in a certain way. So it's limited as to how I can express that love, and it's limited to how I can receive love back from him. So it's not as high as I'd like it to be. It's not at a 10. My family are also far away from me. All of them are far away from me. So that I was quite comfortable with the 7. I have lots of love to give, and I give it as much as I can, but I'm not always able to give it in ways that I would like to, like hugs. And I'm sure everyone all around the world can relate to this at the moment because of lockdown. Isn't that fun? Then I went to Friends, and I was pretty confident on Friends. I thought, I'm really way up on Friends. I've been putting time and energy and love into my friendships, and I've been receiving back from them, and it's amazing and it feels good. And then I remembered one of my best friends in the whole world. I wished her happy birthday today, and it was her birthday yesterday. Oops. so that is at an 8. Where I think it could have been a 9. Even though my friends are far away from me, we really manage to curate our relationship, our friendships via all the ways that are available to us. Then I looked at children and pets, and I have a daughter, Erin. She's on here. Hello, Eri. And she doesn't live near me either. Not too far. She's in Northern Ireland. So again, I have so much love to share with her, and she with me, and the reciprocation, the flow is beautiful, but she's far away. I also have heart children, which are not children from my body, but they're children from my heart, and they're scattered all over the world as well. So I put that at a 7 as well. So my wheel is looking a little bit wonky at the moment. Not too bad though. If I had a 2 on there, that would put my wheel really out. At the moment, I think we're doing okay. My colleagues, I'm on such a wonderful, wonderful journey with colleagues in the industry that I'm in, knowledge sharing and growing together and collaborating on projects. There is just so much going on. I still put it at an 8 though, because I want to push that. I want to get more out of that, and I want to give more. So I've put that at an 8. And then myself. I had to put myself at an 8, even though I am the queen of self-love. I realized that this week I haven't quite held myself in balance as I could have. I've been on such an amazing growth trajectory though, but it's been affecting my sleep and my eating a little bit. So I gave myself an 8 there as well, although I would love to be up at a 9 and 10. So hello, Charisse. It's so good to see you here. Thank you for joining. It's so lovely to have you all here with me today. So basically, back to the wheel. When we look at the wheel, if I had some, already it's a little bit wonky. So it's turning really well, but there's a bit of a gig when it goes from 7 to 8 and 8 back to 7. So I've got a little bit of a bump, and that's a reminder to me. I need to come back to self. I need to look at my love. I need to look at how I'm giving and receiving and make adjustments in some of the areas. So for me, I would look at partner and family, and children and pets. Oh, on that note, let me quickly tell you, I don't have a pet officially, but my neighbor has a cat who basically owns me. So he comes and goes here as he pleases. He demands milk from me. He gives me lots of love, and I give him lots of love. So that was another reason why I managed to get a 7, because I actually have an unofficial pet. So back to the wheel. Looking at my wheel, I can see that I would like to increase, first of all, to bring balance to my life. I'd like to increase the area of partner and family, and I'd like to increase the area of children and pets. So I think then I look at those areas and I think, well, am I feeding myself enough to be able to give more in those areas? The answer is yes, because my self quadrant was up at an 8, which is higher than what those two are. So yes, I can push myself a little bit further to maybe give a little bit more. Also to look at, why are they sitting at a 7? What could I learn? Am I thinking I want more from them? If I'm feeling that way, how could that be a mirror for me where I could give more? Not to give more when I don't have to give though. Making sure that I'm taking care of myself first, which as I've said, I am. And then in this week, when I look at my 8 on self, and I think of how I can focus on getting a little bit more rest in the weeks to come, I'll be able to push that self-love up a bit. And that again will spread into the other quadrants of my wheel. Some of the life wheels that you might come across have more sections. You can adapt this as well to how it suits you. I like to keep it a bit more simple and have the quadrants just slightly bigger because they're kind of types of relationship, if that makes sense. But feel free to adapt it. The good news is you can get the wheel on my website, which is www.dianagrant.com. And I'll put the actual direct link in the comments a bit later for you. But it's really easy to find. It's in the shop, which is called Boutique on my website because, a shop is just a shop. I have a boutique. JJ, how often should we do this wheel? That is such a good question. So I actually like to do it fairly often. Obviously, because I've been working with self-love for so long, I do it almost daily in my head. And then when I feel like I need to see it more, I actually draw the wheel in my journal. And I sit with it at least once a week, though. I really recommend doing it once a week and just looking at your life, looking at where you're giving love, where you're receiving love, and how you can fill up your own self-love tank better. And Olga, thank you for the question. When am I coming on live next? I'm going to do this every Friday. So I've decided Self-Love Friday is going to be the name of this live show. And just little tips. So when you think, well, how can I fill my love tank? How can I love myself better? That's why you'll need to show up next week, Friday, for the next tip. I'm going to try and keep them simple, easy to use. I've found that when I started on this whole journey long ago, I've always had a passion for growth and self-development, but I've been through times in my life where I felt very stuck and very lost. And just thinking of starting something new felt so overwhelming to me. I couldn't even fathom it. And I would hear people and they'd suggest, oh, but why don't you do this? Or why don't you love yourself better? Why don't you focus on yourself, grow yourself? And it was just like, I can't even think of that right now. My life is heavy. My life is, I couldn't see a way out. And then I discovered that really little things create big shifts. So really little changes, small changes that didn't take a lot of energy from me, created big shifts for me in my life. And that's what I'm here to share with you on Fridays, so that you can hopefully glean some value, find some things that work for you, make little tweaks to your daily routine that could really, really have a big impact on your life in the long run. So thank you so much, Olga. I'm so glad that you say you'll see me next Friday. Yes. And Cherise, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody. Go and have a look on the website. There are actually quite a few freebies in the boutique, and I'll be adding more as we go. Thank you, Magda. Thank you, Howard. Thank you, Erin, Olga, JJ. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Lots and lots of love. And don't forget, put lots of apples into your own basket so that you can share your apples with everybody else. Love you lots. Mwah. Bye.